The first section of my London block that I want to quilt is the green square in the center. I decided from the drawing to do double continuous curve, which is a curve from the point to the point to the point, and I'll go around it twice. I'm quilting this on my sit-down Sweet 16. It is a long arm in a table, and with the long arm quilting foot, I'm able to quilt directly against long arm quilting tools. If I were quilting this on my home machine, I would simply draw the line in and follow it with the needle. I would not place a long arm quilting template against the foot of a home machine. But to position this, you can see I have some ruler grip here so that the ruler will not slide and will stay in contact with the fabric. I'm going to position the ruler right next to the foot of my machine and set it so that it is a 1/4 inch away from this seam up here. So when I stitch, my 1/4 inch foot will have my needle right in the corner. Position the second one. Third one. And the fourth one. Now that I've finished using my oval, this is oval C2 from Handy Quilter, I'm going to take its mate, this is oval C1, and I'm going to do a shallower curve inside of each one. I have the ruler grip, I'm going to press down on it, move the fabric. 1, 2, 3, and 4. In my drawing, I had decided to do more continuous curve in my cream blocks here. But now that I'm looking at the quilt, I really think I want to do continuous curve in the small green squares going out to the corners instead of the cream ones. I'm not going to stitch around a template for this. I'm going to do this free motion. Just free motion to curve from point to point and down to the next one. I could finish this square, but I'd like to do a chain of all of the squares together to not have to make another knot. So across the top and down the side. Across the top and down the side. And now here at the bottom, you'll notice I have my 1/4 inch tape along the edge of my block. I put this here before I started quilting so that whenever I make my curve, I'm not going to go all the way to the edge of my fabric. That'll be covered up when I join the blocks together. I'm going to go to the edge of my tape, allowing a seam to come through here. So right to the corner of my tape, down to the corner of my tape, and since I'm at the bottom of my line of squares, I'm going to stitch the other half and work my way back up. Now I can make a knot and move over to the next area, but I'm going to stitch in the ditch over. This is a Handy Quilter mini scallop ruler, placing it against my foot, and this little 1/4 inch tab under my finger here I'm placing on the seam so that my foot will go into the ruler and my needle will go into the ditch. Continue down this side. These are not all perfect and not all even. That's not going to be possible without a template, and I've elected to not use a template for this. So I will accept some irregularity. And back up. More stitch in the ditch. And some free motion quilting. More stitch in the ditch to move over. Free motion quilting, back up. Done all four sides. I could knot here, but I prefer to knot exactly where I ended. I'm going to trim my starting threads. Stitch and a ditch down. And I've finished all of my continuous curve.